You know, it's a funny thing. I spent all winter inside, hibernating, thinking about when would the ice and the snow melt, and when would the spring come. Thinking about getting back on these lakes, getting back on these rivers, getting out paddling again. Doing what I love. And then as the day finally came, this day, today, I found myself sitting at home, dragging my heels, and I was just puttering around, playing on my laptop, doing anything but packing up and actually going. And I don't know if it was some kind of apprehension about the first trip out of the season, when you're just kind of getting back into the swing of things. But it's like I forgot all the good things that are out here. I forgot that spring had arrived. The trees are starting to bud now, things are starting to grow, things are getting green again. You can hear birds in the forest, you can hear life. Life is on the move. So after humming and hawing, I packed up the car, headed north, and got moving. And now I'm here, at this beautiful site. It is the second week of May. It is my first trip of the season. I'm on a gorgeous, slightly breezy lake, all to myself. The sun is right about to crest down over the trees. And it's just me. And sitting here in this place right now reminds me of all the things and all the reasons of why I came back out here in the first place. So I'm really excited to start off this season. I'm grateful to be in this place right now. So I'm just in for a quick 2 nights. I'm actually at a chain of lakes that's very close to where my family's cottage is, part of the Frost Center group. I'm on Gun Lake right now, and I started my day at Herb Lake. So I started late this afternoon, and I just came in for just a quick hour and a bit took me to get in here, so pretty easy breezy for the first trip. And yeah, I've never been into this area before, and it's really beautiful. I imagine it's pretty popular in the summertime, but right now we're in the early bit of May here, and so it is pretty darn quiet, and yeah, feels great. Feels like it's just myself and the black flies. Oh. Dinner tonight is tacos with veggie ground and some sauteed red peppers and avocado, green onion. It'll be delish. Oh, yum. Man, it feels great to be sitting by a campfire again. The winter just stretches on sometimes. And I don't know. Sometimes you can be surprised that lakes this nice can be tucked right in just behind some, pretty used cottage country. And yeah, I wouldn't say I'm very remote right now, but it definitely feels like it. It's really nice. Feels good to be back. It's supposed to be getting pretty cold tonight. Might go down to -1, -2. And I'm strung up with my hammock, and that's probably about as cold yet as I've camped with that, as this is getting out pretty early in the season for me. So I've got a pretty warm sleeping bag and a decent sleeping pad, and I definitely got a thick pair of long johns and a hat and all that stuff. But we'll see. It could be a bit of a chilly night. Well, it was definitely pretty cold last night. I don't know if it dipped down into freezing, but it got chilly. It was amazing last night going to sleep to just the sounds of the forest. So much activity. Spring peepers just in this marsh area behind the site were just so loud, just going off for hours and hours. And then there were a couple owls, different parts of the lake, barred owls that you could hear. And then just as I was kind of setting off to bed, just those eerie loon calls just started sounding out. So yeah, it was a great way to fall asleep. Awesome first night back in. So not really too much of a set plan for today. I think it's going to be pretty cruisy. I'm going to just paddle up after I pack up and go explore. There's a small little bit of a river that kind of leads back into Raven Lake, just behind where I'm at here. And Raven Lake's a little bigger than the one I'm currently on. And I think there's going to be some cottages and some other things on that, so maybe not quite as tucked in, but nothing too taxing. So I never really fish much on these trips. I have terrible luck and even worse skills as a fisherman. I've broken a couple of rods, including ones that are supposed to be really, really tough and that never seem to break, and I always get tangled up in my lines, and I just never really have much of a good time with it. But I decided to give it another crack for this year, and in order to encourage myself to actually bring it out here, I decided to just try and go for the most compact setup possible. So this right here I've got is both my rod and a small fold-away fishing net. The rod is just a cheap little telescopic rod that I'm sure any real fisherman would shudder at, or fisher person. But for me, it works. Actually, I don't know that yet. We're about to test it out. If it doesn't break right away, if I'm actually able to land anything, then it'll work for me. Nothing yet. it's a nice, intimate little section of sort of river creek. Pretty shallow. I imagine that any later into the summer and then this would get pretty dry. But right now there's more than enough to go through it. There's a more than gentle breeze right now to keep some of the bugs off when I'm paddling, which is pretty appreciated. There is a white pine that has fallen and blocked across the river here. And it's just a little too thick for me to clear it with my little saw. So I'm gonna go around. It's looking like the main gut of the lake here is going to be quite a side/headwind. Really gusty. Just coming up this last bit of river section here, I was just really getting buffeted around. So I imagine, I can already see the beginnings of some whitecaps, and I imagine when I come around the point, it might be kind of nasty. So taking a quick little recharge here. And I'm going to try and power through it. Got hammered trying to come around the point in those white caps there into the main part of the lake. Wow, that's a strong headwind. I'm gonna see if I can cut through this little marshy bay here and then drag the canoe over. Trying to make my way to the leeward side a little bit here and shortcut my way around that point that was getting me, but oh my God, these winds. I can barely move against them right now. Come on. Jesus. Getting pushed right into shore. Can't do anything about it. Oh, you can see the main part of the lake up ahead, and it is just ripping white caps out there. Well, you know when you're almost getting knocked over carrying the canoe on a portage, that it's a windy frickin' day. It's time to find lunch. Well, I made camp here on a really nice rocky point site here on Herb Lake, and it is really blowing still. It's actually gotten even windier since I first paddled onto the lake, so I'm gonna set up camp and get comfy, and hopefully the wind will die down a bit towards the evening. Then I can go for a little paddle, do a little fish, maybe do a bit more exploring. But right now it seems like it's one of those times to just kind of tucker in and wait this breeziness out. Tell you what, there's definitely no black flies on this side of the campsite. It is windy. I checked the Garmin and it was something like 30 kilometer an hour winds today with 60k gusts, or at least that's what it is as of about an hour ago, and I've been off the water for a couple hours now. So yeah, no wonder I was having some trouble out there on the bigger waters of Raven Lake today. It is a fresh breeze blowing right now. This site is great though. It's on a long rocky point. It looks like it would get great morning sun as well as an excellent view of the sunset to come here. I've just been having a nice time just kind of soaking it in, just sitting facing towards the sunset here and feeling this breeze on me and the lack of bugs that comes with it, and just gonna get down to some dinner pretty quick here and have a nice chill night. It was not a day of a lot of exertion in terms of miles gone. This is about as cruisy as it gets. Did not move very far, but that wind was really something. That wind actually, it made me work for it a little bit. So I'm actually feeling pretty hungry right now. I'm gonna enjoy this. So it's 6 a.m. right now, and just woke up to this beautiful looking day right now. The wind has completely died down, so I thought it'd be a great time to go for a little early morning paddle before I have to pack up and ship off here. Well, it's pretty little. 3 counts. I wouldn't say that any of those bass I caught were trophy size, but for somebody who sucks at fishing and doesn't do it very much, that was fun and encouraging. Probably caught about a dozen or more, just tiny little guys, just in that one little fishing hole in about 20 minutes time. This was a great little trip. I really hadn't spent any time before camping in sort of the Haliburton Highlands area. I'd always headed sort of further north, and I was very pleasantly surprised. Right sort of back door to my family's sort of cottage area, and it was really, really nice in here. A couple of beautiful lakes with great rocky campsites and some nice fishing even for me, and just all in all, just a great way to get back into the season. It's so nice to see water flowing again and things green and growing and birds chirping in the trees, and it just feels great to be back out here. So really excited to keep it going and just make this the first of many great trips for the year. And it's an area I definitely would recommend. I would definitely recommend checking this area out. It's very nice.